Yes, we're back, people. Back in the house, back again for another show. Arsenal Roundabout is back. Got an elite lineup as ever. I hope you're all enjoying your Friday evening. If you've got the football in the background, watching Luton and Everton, pray for Luton, man. I'm really praying that Luton can do something special. I really am. I want them up. I think the story would be magnificent. Make sure you're doing us a favor and smashing a like on this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Both of those things are absolutely free. And we are edging very, very closer and closer and nearer to 20k. It is not far away, people. So please make sure you're part of the community and smash that like and subscribe button to make sure that we as a community can reach 20k. If you do need a VPN, then of course in the pinned comments you will see Surfshark VPN. All you got to do is click the link and it will take you straight there so you can purchase it if you have not got it already. Big up to everybody that's come on tonight. Big up to Albert. Big up to Gunnar King. Big up to African Guna. And we are going to have Elliot and Sosin joining us very, very soon. Boys, pleasure to see you as always. We're going to start a little bit differently tonight with the new Arsenal kits that have come out. We're just talking off air about it. And I can't lie to you. I'm a massive fan of Adidas. I'm a massive fan of Arsenal kits. I think most seasons we get it bang on, particularly when we're sponsored by Adidas. But I've got to say, I'm disappointed with both of these. I don't think they're that nice, man. Let's start with you, Albert. What are you saying?
I've seen the free leak kits. The home one, I think the Arsenal fans will get over it personally. The black one, I don't know. That didn't grab me straight away. I'm going to be honest. And I know there was a lot of reticence about the blue one. Oh, it's Man City. Man City don't wear that type of blue. Like if you look at Man City's kit, it's not even anywhere near that type of color. But I actually think that kit will actually grow a lot more people than when they see it, they'll be like, you know what? Actually, I might have been a little bit more harsh about the kit. But it's the kits thing. It's always like, people moan about anything anyway, Dan. But the kits, I've seen better that Arsenal done, but Adidas do amazing kits as well. But I actually don't think the third one's that bad. The blue one, the home one, I probably will get that because down to Simu, but that's another conversation anyway. But the other one, Dan, the black one, not sure, man. Really not sure, to be honest.
Listen, I think the best away kit we've had in a long time was last year's, the black and gold one. I thought that was so nice, man. That was one of my favourites. But I'm not dealing, Gunnar King, with this black, green, and red away kit. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing, that all black kit, and I'm really annoyed because I lost my one of that, so I'm literally going to reorder it because that for me is like one of the best away kits we've had for ages. You know, I used to live in that kit. Yeah, I mean, looking at these ones, I've only looked at a few leaked pictures. They don't move me, if I'm being honest. They haven't moved me, but I think like the one for this season, the Illuminous one, I looked at that last season. It just looked horrible. But when I see it on people, I've been like, yeah, okay, maybe. So I'm hoping that these are pretty much the same, you know, that, you know, whilst they don't move me, obviously I'm going to get one of them, you know, go try them on and they grow on me because, yeah, I've seen better, if I'm being honest. But this is the thing. Yeah. I'm just a retro kit kind of guy, you know. Like I love my retro ones, you know, like from back in the day, like, you know, a bit nostalgic like that anyway. So, you know, yeah, the newer school kits, just there to be had, just to add to the collection, really.
Listen, I'm with you, man. I'm a big fan of the one behind me. Obviously, Bruce Banana's probably my favourite away kit. I loved the gold one where Will Todd won the league for us at Old Trafford. I love the away kit last year as well. But I've got to say, I ain't really too impressed. I ain't really impressed with the Illuminous one. It ain't really grown on me this year either. The only good thing is we ain't lost a game in it. That's the only good thing this season. Every game that we've lost has been that bloody green one. Stop wearing that green kit away. I'll tell you that now. Stop wearing it. Stop wearing it. We lost to Fulham. We've lost to Bayern Munich. Stop bloody wearing it. Just wear that Illuminous one now at Old Trafford. That'll do us. That's the way I'm at. African Guna, what are you saying? Obviously, you sent me the third kit. You said it's grown on you. You quite like the Adidas, and I must say the badge is nice, actually. I must say that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know, man. Green kits and Arsenal blue, turquoise, I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what? I have a couple of different thoughts. Firstly, there's 4 leaked kits. So the first one is the home kit, which is kind of like an Ajax vibe. And then there was that whole thing about the bottle. I'll be honest, like, you know, the home kit is always, I'm not so super intense about it because the home kit's always the home kit. And I have pretty much every single home kit, right? I mean, I have this season's and I haven't really worn it so much. In terms of the away kit, it gives me watermelon vibes, right? With the black and the red. I mean, it's different. It's something that we haven't had before. So I think people will also grow into that one. I definitely agree with the rest of the panel. I don't think it's as good as the away shirt from last season, the black and gold one, but I think that one might grow on people. The turquoise one, which is the third kit, which is the one that we saw Kai Havertz in, that one is the one that I really, really enjoy. And I think this is something that I'd like to hear from you guys. I think now, much more than in the past, a lot of these jerseys are more of a fashion thing, right? So for that kit specifically, I see a lot of people really liking that kit because you can wear it outside, you can wear it casually. It doesn't necessarily have to be an Arsenal shirt. You can wear it as a fashion kind of shirt, right? So for me, I think that one is going to be the one that's the most popular. And then obviously the last leaked shirt was the goalkeeper shirt that came out yesterday, which you can see on my page. It's kind of like a yellow fruit salad. I don't know. It's a goalkeeper shirt, right? So not a lot of people can actually buy it, right? Unless you're a huge fan of David Rea or you're a goalkeeper yourself as a kid or growing up aspiring to be a goalkeeper. So yeah, I mean, I never usually get goalkeeper, so I'm not really looking forward to that one. But the third kit is the one that I'm looking to save money on right now so I can get it.
Listen, interesting, man. I've got to say, call me old school, but I'm red and white and yellow and blue. That's what I am, man. And if it ain't yellow and ain't red and white, yellow and blue, I'm always a bit meh. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up to Elliot in the house. How are you, sir?
I'm well, sir. I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. Sorry about that. I had a little meeting before.
Come on, man. It's all good, bro. All you've missed, mate, is us discussing the new Arsenal kits. That is literally all we've discussed. Well, the leaked Arsenal kits, which some of us aren't a fan of, man. I don't know about you, bro. Maybe it's because I'm old school, but I like red and white and yellow and blue. And if there's not them colours, I always have question marks over it. What are you saying, Elliot?
Well, again, remember the best-selling away kit of all time was not gold and blue. So again, you know. Different show for different folks, but I'm okay with the leak kit. I don't know about that whole homage to Rocastle and Ian Wright. That little little, what's it, silver and white and such. I don't understand about that, but for the most part, it's a good kit. It's a relatively good kit. I will have my credit card at the ready next year. So again, I'm very much happy. Yeah. Those who know me know I'm merch king. So again, I welcome it. I welcome the opportunity. And but again, that's for next year. That's something for next year.
Yeah, listen, it is. A lot of people are saying, can you share the kits? Well, these are the two apparently, home and away kits. The home one for me has got way too much white, and I think, like you said, African Goon, it's like an Ajax type kit. I'm not sure I'm feeling that one. And the away one, I just don't get where the green comes into this. Like, even if the green weren't in it, it wouldn't be so bad.
It looks like a rugby kit, if I'm being honest. The back one, yeah, like it doesn't really have a football vibe to it. I don't know if it's the collar, like the font as well, like the way it's kind of like shaped. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna grow. I'll be honest, like, but the white and red one, I've been getting just tagged in it just with the bottle shape, and it's just bothering me. I'll be honest. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, just been getting the jokes in like from all the mates already, and I'm just like, yeah, that wasn't very well thought through, was it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but it looks better, I think. Yeah, definitely the white and red one, just because it's the traditional colours,
Yeah, I must say I'm a bit the same. I kind of like the look and sound of the what do you call it, of the home one. I think I can get used to it. The away one, I don't know. It's just the green for me. Maybe it's one of those that you get used to, innit? Some of them, like we said earlier, you can kind of get a kind of feel.
You got to cater to the kids, man. You got to do what the kids want. Those are the ones who drive them to college. This is what the kids want. The kids want this stuff. So you know what I mean? They want the cross, the different colors. That sort of mean.
Yeah, man. it is a bit different, I will say, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure that if I'm feeling it or not. Let's look at this one. This is I've just got this
Sorry,
one
just
up now.
before I mean, I'm pretty sure, guys, we're gonna see Dan in a couple of months have every single one of these shirts.
Oh, well, honestly, listen, I get one every year, right? This happens to me all the time.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure about this, and then the next minute I'm wearing them all. But that's what happens. But that's probably a better picture. I must say, the I really like the badge on the third kit,
Third
the
one,
one
yeah.
Lieber's wearing.
Yeah.
I really
That-
like that. I must
yeah.
say. I think the Canon and the Adidas, that is old school Adidas, man. Old school. So if it's going to be like that, then fair play. Maybe I'll get one or two or three.
There it is. There you go.
Worth a discussion. What's also worth a discussion is the link to Bruno Guimaraes. Now, I don't know what you boys are making of this. There is a release clause, but apparently the release clause of £100 million has to be swooped in from someone quick, because apparently it kind of expires or whatever, so to speak, in June. So that's basically when the PSR thing comes in. So I don't know what you make of this. Now, it could be that this release clause, no one's going to release it. Bruno wants to go, and Man City, PSG, and Arsenal all go in for a bit of a bidding war and see if they can get him for around 80 to 90. I don't know. I've no idea. But Albert, I'll come to you first. In terms of the player, I really like him, and I mean I really like him a lot. Would this excite you if Arsenal were to be linked with Bruno Guimaraes?
You know what? Firstly, the Arsenal fans have to forgive him for that when he tried to take off Jorginho's head earlier this season. So that's the first thing I'm going to get out of the way. Yeah, but I mean, they say that Edu and Arteta have been long-term admirers of him. How true that is, I don't know. The links were there from like 2022. He's a good player. He's a very good player. I just don't think it will happen. Not because I don't think Arteta be interested in him, but sometimes it's timing, Dan, and you know, other players. Zubimendi has been spoken about for so long with Arsenal in terms of links, man. And those are the two names you hear. So I don't think it will happen, only because it's about £100 million release clause, and also on top of that as well. I'm not saying he wouldn't want to ever come to Arsenal, and he want to jump ship at Newcastle, but I guess it comes down to how much he would want the move if Arsenal was his preferred destination. But until I see something a little bit more concrete, and obviously the season's still in play at the moment, and you know it'll hot up in June, man, in terms of the transfer stuff. But it's not that it would be a no, but it would also depend on what other viable targets Arsenal are looking at. But it wouldn't be a definite no for me. But I don't think it will happen personally.
Yeah, it's interesting, Gunnar King, because I really like the player. I looked at the stats, and he's won more interceptions and he's won more fouls than any player in the 5 top tiers of European leagues. Now, that to me means he's in and around the place. And I'm a big, big fan of stats like that, because it means to me that it's a guy who wants to get his foot in, wants to get on the ball, tries to control the midfield. And do you know what? I know what Albert's saying, but I kind of like the fact that he's horrible in the middle there. I think everybody needs a player like that. And I don't know that we've quite got that yet. I think we're getting there, but in that nasty side, Rice is there. Partey isn't reliable enough for 30 games a season, but this guy could be. And I think Bruno, Rice, and Ødegaard would make for a very exciting midfield, man. What's your thoughts, bruv?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's really interesting you bring this up, because I was doing a live on TikTok yesterday, and the question was posed to me as well between him and Douglas Luiz of Aston Villa. I think maybe it could be argued Douglas Luiz has a slightly higher technical shelf, but I'm exactly in your court, Dan, where I want some mean bastards in this team. You know, like excuse my French, man. I want a bit of a mean streak. That midfield, I think that's all it's missing. You know, like, you know, Declan Rice has got that. You know, I think go back to the George Graham days. You know, like where, you know, that team, they were horrible. You know what I mean? They were loved, you know, sort of the dark arts of the game, you know, sort of winding up their opponents, winding up the opposition. And he's done us a few times. He's gone there. Do you know? He kind of let players know that they're there. Listen, he can play ball as well. He can absolutely, like, you know, he's got the technical ability. He's got a bit of flair. You know, he can go forward. But the thing is as well, he could play competently as a 6 because defensively, you know, like he's a midfielder that's got a complete skill set. And, you know, for me, that's what I want. You know, I want that, just that net. You know, like we've got enough players who can play the game, you know, like that technically kind of bring something to this team. But I think what we need is, you know, just that ruthless, you know, kind of edge that he has to his game. You know, the kind of the South American dog. You know, like I speak about so many players. You know, like I think Jesus has got it. You know, Gabriel Mangala's defense has got it. Martin got America.
I think we might be losing you, bro.
Take the
Is that
boy
me?
favela, but the favela out the boy. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. They kind of bring that the street smarts. You know what I mean? Into midfield. That's what I want from him. You know, so I think I like the link. I like the profile. The only thing I don't like is that price tag. You know, and look, people say it's not your money, it's not this. It's, you know, like, and I just think that's a lot of money to drop on him. You know, like 80, 85 million, I'd be happy with. I think because he is Prem proven. I just think 100 million. And look, we brought Declan Rice in, and I'm sure he would live up to the price tag. But I'm just thinking more. I wanted to bring him 6, and I just that 100 million price tag. Is it going to do that? You know, and I want to get the 5 players. I don't spare for one because we're better off filling the gaps that we need. I think we need a right winger, 2 minutes, 2 defenders, and a striker. And you know, I just think, you know, I just want to be sure that if we bring him in, as long as look, if we drop the 100 million and we're still able to do that, and I think we can with player sale, I don't mind. But yeah, he need a player a lot.
Listen, I really like him. I really do. Your Wi-Fi is moving mad, Connor King. I can't lie. But we just about got you. Let's come to you, African Guna. I'm gonna ask for you because for me, bro, I really liked the player when he was at Lyon and when we nearly signed him before. If you remember, Edu was looking at him. This is a player that I think can do exactly what Rice is doing in terms of positions. I'm not saying he's a better player or a similar player. I think they're different, but I think he can play in those 2 positions in the 6 and the 8. And I think that you've seen in the Newcastle side how good he is. I do think that there could be a player there that could be leaving, and I don't know where he's going to go. Now, PSG are interested, City are interested, Arsenal are interested. Out of those 3 clubs, I want to know what you think of the player, but out of those 3 clubs, do you think Arsenal could tempt him?
Absolutely. I mean, on the temptation part, Dan, I think we've talked about this. We've proven it with Declan Rice last year, right? I mean, we beat City, so that has put us in a position to say, hey, you know what? We can compete for any single player in world football right now, irrespective of how this last 3 games goes. I think we are going to be shopping at the top of the food chain this summer. That's frankly how I see it. I think you stole some of my thunder there, Dan, because I was going to mention it.
Sorry, man.
No. In terms of like, we were already looking to sign him before he signed for Newcastle, right? No one mentioned that before. Yeah, I mean, and we know how Arteta is. Once he has his sights on a player, he pretty much ends up getting that player, right? It's going to be interesting between Douglas Luiz and Guimaraes, which one we get. In terms of what Gunnar King was saying, he was saying around 80 million he'd get him. I think that's the release clause if you're a Champions League club. That's the price to pay. I think, you know, in terms of the midfield, I think we talked about the mean streak. He definitely has that. I think his aerial game is a bit weak, which, you know, we're looking for physical, imposing players like maybe a Douglas Costa or whatever. Douglas Luiz that is very tall and physical in midfield. But I think Guimaraes is someone that obviously we wanted before. We've seen him play. I think he definitely played the 6, and I think Arteta would push Rice into the 8 because I think Rice has obviously more legs. And I think it's very dependent on Zubimendi because Arteta is a big fan of Zubimendi as well. So it's going to be one or the other. Either we go for Zubimendi or we go for Guimaraes. I prefer Guimaraes because he's Prem proven. We've seen him do it in the Premier League. The other thing that no one has talked about is that Newcastle can't sell both Guimaraes and Isak. It's going to be one or the other. They can't let both big hitters go, right? So it's going to be really important because I think personally Arsenal want Isak more than they want Guimaraes, because I think we have other options for midfield, and I think he's quite set on Isak. And again, we also saw how previously Arteta went for Isak, so another player that he likes. It's going to be really interesting to see how this unravels, and I think Arsenal has to be already starting these conversations now. We need to be at the forefront, like we were with Declan Rice, and I'm sure we have already started this, but I think it's really important because as soon as that first kind of pillar goes down between Guimaraes and Isak, whichever one they sell first, whoever that second person is, it's going to be really hard to pry away, and the price is just going to go even higher. So we need to be that club that goes in there and snaps whichever player we want, whichever it is. I don't mind, I'll take either, but we need to be the club that's there at the forefront, knocking on the door, putting the money on the table, having had those conversations with both players, telling them how we see them fit into our project. They both get significant game time. They're potentially starting 11 players for us. So I think in terms of convincing them, it's quite easy. Champions League football, Arsenal being one of the best teams in the world, probably for the next few years, I think it's an easy sell for me. So really looking forward to how it goes. There's going to be a lot of rumors over the next few weeks, as Albert said, like, transfer season is upon us. So I would advise people not to get sucked in too early. There's going to be a lot of players linked with us over the next few weeks. And yeah, it's going to be a fun ride. Something that I'd like to mention is that I've told someone this before. I had a conversation with someone today, and I said, in previous transfer windows, there was a lot of stress. Guys, I'm not super stressed about this transfer window because the team is in a really good position. It's not do or die like in the past, where if we didn't sign someone, that was the only player that we could sign and it would completely derail our transfer window. I'm very safe. This team could compete next season without any signings. I'm not saying obviously that's what I want. I'm just saying that we're in a really strong position going into the transfer window, and I'm kind of relaxed about it. I'm confident that the club is going to do the right business.
Listen, I love the optimism, man. And if I could have my dream window, it would be this. Don't think, though, Arsenal will get Bruno or Isak. And I would love both of them, I can't lie, but I can't see Newcastle letting them go. It would be pretty harsh, wouldn't it, to raid them. Elliot, let me throw this one at you, man. This is from Brian. He says, would you rather break the bank for a striker or a central midfielder? This is going to be really interesting. We kind of need both. And we need to see two world-class players coming in, like a Bruno and Isak, but I can't see that happening. But if you could only have one position to go for, would you go out for that absolute elite striker, or would you go and get that left eight that can complement Rice and Ødegaard? What are you saying, bro?
I would definitely say that it's imperative that we get a striker here, because strikers' goals win games. And quite simply, we don't have that game breaker in the striker position that we for a while now, not since Aubameyang, and it is time that we got him. Quite simply, I think that's what separated ourselves from Bayern Munich in the Champions League draw. We didn't have a striker to go out there and get us some goals. So that would be my priority sequence right now. I think we have a lot of good midfielders right now. We have Declan Rice, we have Thomas Partey. He ain't going anywhere. Just to let you know, he ain't going anywhere. You have Jorginho, who signed a new contract, and I think in the midfield, I think we're pretty much stacked as is. We have room for another midfielder to come in, even at the loss of Emil Smith-Rowe, who I think will leave this summer. And but again, we are a bit short up front, and I think quite simply we need to bring a striker in who's going to bring us goals. Now, again, everybody's saying Havertz this, Havertz that, but the fact of the matter is, Havertz can get us, at a push, 15 to 20 goals. Okay, but it's not going to exactly, frighten defenses in terms of his pace, and we need a pacey sort of striker, or a striker that can intimidate defenders, and the likes of Gyökeres, the likes of an Isak, if we can get him, which I very much doubt, and the likes of an Osimhen, who I think is going to PSG. Period, are the ones that we would definitely need. Now, again, turning my attention back down to Guimaraes. Guimaraes, I think, is going to be our first summer signing. I'll say it now. I'll put it out there. Wow. I think that the wheels have been well enough in motion right now. I think they're very, very keen to get a Guimaraes in. And again, his as African Gunner has already said, I think his release clause is only good for a month. So again, that's going to be something that's going to be done really quick. That's not going to waste time. And again, it's not as if Arsenal's afraid to spend money, especially now when they have transfers out up to £100 million this year. Number one. Number two, we have Champions League money, so we have money in the bank right now. So
and wages are down.
Yeah, wages are down, as we already said. So again, I think Guimaraes is looking out for a move. I think that Edu's already been in his ear. And I think that that we will see Guimaraes here at Arsenal Football Club. Now, again, I would. There are other choices that I could also see here at the club, which like Yusuf Fofana, the likes of Eze from Crystal Palace. I think he'd be an excellent addition, and also Nigel de Jong from Barcelona. But right now, I think Arsenal Football Club are all about Premier League proven. 3 words: Premier League proven. And they have never gone away from that formula. And I see Guimaraes being of the perfect age. He's 26. He's played at top level. He's played Champions League football. And he is that thorn in your side that every club wants. And I think, you see that you talked about the competition there, Dan, in terms of PSG and Manchester City. I see Manchester City going after Paqueta, his friend, at West Ham. I think they're going in big for him. And I think Guimaraes, we're going to have a good run at Guimaraes, and it'll be up to us to sign him or not. But I am predicting now that he will be our first signing, being that the clause is only for a limited time. And so we will grab at it. But in terms of getting back to the question, in terms of striker or midfielder, I think we're good on the midfield front. I think we still have Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, which is seen as some, I would say, top 10 midfielders in the world, midfield to the world. I say even top 5. And we're not begging; we're only adding, right? We're not in a desperate situation here, guys. And I say that striker is our number 1 priority right now, in my opinion, because we're even though we're scoring a good amount of goals, the fact of the matter is, I think we don't have that difference maker up front with pace. And I mean, you could see it when we were playing at Tottenham, and we tried to play it long for Havertz, and Van de Ven literally outpaced him. Right now, we're looking for a guy who can outpace the likes of a Van de Ven, the likes of a defense which is mobile. And my number 1 striker opportunity is Victor Gyökeres, as everybody's pretty much knows right now. I think he's ready. Yes, indeed. Well done, African Gunner. I see that. I see you. And I think he's ready for the big time. He's ready for the big stage. Now, again, I hope that these rumors of Xerxes from Bologna and we offering him a contract are not true. I really don't want a developmental striker like a Xerxes or Sesko. But I want a guy who is going to hit the ground running, wants to impress, and has already had some sort of, and has already played in English football with European pedigree. And I think Young would be right up our alley.
Well, listen, Albert, let me give you an impossible question, and I'm going to give it to the start of the poll as well. Big up, Tosin.
Hey, guys.
How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let me give you this impossible question. I'm going to put it in the poll then, right? If we're talking about players that we can get, this summer, Arsenal can sign Gyökeres and Victor Gyökeres, and Bruno Guimaraes, or Isak and Zubimendi. Which one you taking? Which route you taking? Isak and Zubimendi, or Gyökeres and Bruno G?
That's a tough one.
The first one. But obviously I want Gyökeres at Arsenal, and obviously Guimaraes has obviously had a season in the Premier League now. So yeah, that'd be my easiest answer. You touching on sort of the striker thing, because this has been kind of spoken about. Watching a few Arsenal content creators do their channels in terms of like striker or midfield player. Or what do we need the most? Some people said the midfield area needs to address a bit more. We need to address more. Some people adamant in terms of striker. I think with the striker situation, if you do bring a striker in, whoever that is, let's say for example is a Watkins or an Isak or Victor Gyökeres, where does that leave Kai Havertz? Because he's played better, obviously, in the false nine position, and in midfield, to me, it's not ideal for him to play there. So, if you're going to bring in another midfield player, where does that leave him? And that's not a negative thing, by the way. That's down to Arteta and how he manages the squad and how he utilizes the players. But because obviously Havertz has done pretty well this season. So I always say with the midfield, Arsenal never fully address it. For season upon season upon season, we bring in one when we're supposed to bring in two. We just don't address it. So if they can't address it now properly, being back in the Champions League, going to be in it next season, obviously next season, they have to get this right. I want the striker, obviously, but I think I'm looking at the midfield area, and more so than just to finish up. I think for me, this is a big window this season because I actually think Arsenal have an opportunity to actually bring some decent money in, whatever you class as decent. Because let's be honest, let's be honest, in relation to other clubs that have, yes, they buy a lot in terms of your Chelsea's, your Cities, but they sell well. Arsenal behind the 8 ball of that. So this summer I'll be looking at to see who they're going to move on. And Arteta is a ruthless guy, and there are some guys that need to be moved on, or he will move on. As you know, Dan, I'm not a big one for sentiment. Listen, if they come through, they do well, fantastic. But if they're not getting game time, football's a very short career. You move them on, you take the money, and you run. So that's what I'll be looking at more so for Arsenal in terms of who we move on and how much money we actually bring in, because that's one thing that Edu needs to do a bit better, or one thing Arsenal as a club need to do better.
Listen, it's facts, man. And like before I bring Tosin in, African Gooner, I'll come to you because you were kind of not in an agreement there. It's mad to me that there is media outlets, neutral fans, rival fans. Havertz and Jesus, they'll be off. They're not going to get happen. No, this is called building a squad, man. Eddie and Nketiah can go. Reece Nelson can go. Fabi Vieira can go. If we have to sell Smith Rowe, I'd sell Smith Rowe. I'm not selling Havertz and Jesus. They're not going, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know where people think this is. Like, for me, it's like we've just spent 65 million on Havertz, and now because we might buy a striker, you don't go get rid of him. You keep him. Like, it's mad to me, bro. It's mad to me.
So, I mean, I totally agree with Albert, and that's something I wanted to raise when Elliot was speaking, because he says that midfield is not a priority for him. For me, like Albert, midfield is a big priority. We are not safe in midfield. I don't know what Elliot's talking about. We don't have enough players in midfield. We're like an injury away from our midfield collapsing. If we actually put some thought into it, right? We need another 2 midfielders. Like Albert said, like when we signed Declan Rice, we needed another one. And even 2 windows ago, we needed players, right? As soon as we knew Thomas Partey was injury prone as well, we needed that. And as soon as we loaned out Lokonga, and we kept El Neni, who never plays, we knew that we needed a replacement, right? So for me, I think midfield is very, very important. In terms of Havertz, I mean, look, he's been great this season. I agree, for me, Dan, I've said this to you before. I don't think he plays in midfield. I don't want to see him play in midfield because I know it doesn't work. We know how he fits in this team moving forward. I think he needs to become a squad rotation player. And that's the reality of it, right? If he's at Man City, this is what's happening. Look at Grealish, right? He sits on the bench. He doesn't start every game. And that's part of the next evolution that our team needs to go through. So for me, we get that Victor Osimhen, the Gyökeres, the Ivan Toney, whoever we get, I think Havertz becomes the backup striker. And I think Gabriel Jesus becomes the left or right winger. He becomes rotation for left wing, and then when Saka needs a break, he goes there. But I don't think we sell either of the two. And I think it's just a natural progression of this team. People like Zinchenko, Nelson, etc. Eddie Nketiah, like he's the one who's probably going to get the adios. I don't see Jesus leaving at all. Unless someone comes in with like 50, 55 million, which is more than we paid for him, then we'll have no choice but to say, hey, you know what? You're more than welcome to leave. I think something that I read is that Palmeiras, with a Brazilian team, they want Gabriel Jesus, but they can't afford him. They want to loan him, which is definitely not going to happen. We're never going to agree to that. So yeah, he's not leaving this summer. I think already with the way that Arsenal, the admin and the social media accounts in the past 24 hours, the way they've been pushing Gabriel Jesus out, there's been rumors, right, in the last 24 hours that Arsenal's willing to sell him, and that's kind of just been shut down by Arteta today. And yeah, I never really fell for those because I don't think it'd be sensible to sell Jesus after 2 seasons. He can play across the front three, and we're looking for squad depth in the summer transfer window, and he becomes that.
Yeah, facts, man.
Let me reply to L'Africain Gunner with this.
Go on.
Go for it.
Let's look at the midfielders at Arsenal right now. Thomas Partey, is he going anywhere? No.
Yes,
Martin Odegaard, is he going anywhere? No. Jorginho, is he going anywhere? No.
Okay.
Fabio Vieira, is he going anywhere? No. Kai Havertz, is he going anywhere? He's still classified as a midfielder. I mean, he can move him up top now. Now he's still a midfielder. No, he's not going anywhere. Declan Rice, is he going anywhere? No. The only two that may possibly go anywhere, Mohamed El-Neni, Emil Smith-Rowe. Now, El-Neni's gone, so there's one midfielder that you need. Now, if Emil Smith-Rowe leaves, which we pretty much are sure that he will go, then you'll need two. But for the moment, we only need one. Because
that's classifying Havertz as a midfielder and not a striker.
That's if you classify Havertz as a midfielder. That's right. Now, again, I see Wenger. I see Arteta moving Havertz to the striker position. Absolutely, I really do believe that. But for the moment, we don't necessarily need two midfielders. What you would like are two midfielders in order to supplement and fill out the squad so that we are ready for any further challenges going forward. But right now, we don't necessarily need it. We want it, but we don't necessarily need it.
My response would be, Dan, put a poll in the chat. Do we need one or two midfield signings, and let the people vote? Because I think it's two.
Well, do you know what? Let's just get the results of this one because at the moment it's literally 50-50. It keeps changing. We've got 52% at the moment, Isak and Zubimendi. But most of the time, Gyökeres and Bruno has been winning. And now it's winning again, 52-48. It's just switched again. So they are so split on this one, man. But let me put that in. Let me put that in for the next one. Tosin, let me come to you, bro. Tosin, I ain't spoke to you for ages. Go on, going to King. What
are you saying, man?
Did I miss? Did someone come in or was that me?
That was probably you.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, Tosin, let's come to you, bro. Because for me, this is a good convo. I think the answer is obvious. We need both. We need an 8 and we need a striker, right? Yeah, I understand. Like the question before was, if we only had like money for one of them, then which area of the pitch do we go? And that then start the debate between African Gunner and Elliot about what do we need midfield and strike wise, right? But for me, I think we're linked with Gyökeres, we're linked with Tony, Osimhen, Isak, all these links, man. And then in midfield as well, Zubimendi, Bruno Guimaraes, who we've just spoken about now. What's your thoughts on this one, man? And where are you with African Gunner? Do you think we need two in midfield or just one? What are you saying, bro?
It depends on the sales, to be honest. I think right now we only need one, if you ask me. Like, I think we only need one because I don't even think it's a thing where we need to make additions. I think Arteta, we should only buy two if it's clear like these guys aren't going to get games, because like I know I see what he's saying with Odegaard, because let's be honest, the starting midfield should be the midfield we have now. This is the strongest midfield we have. Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. That is the midfield. But is Jorginho really going to leave? No, he's not. So he's a decent deputy, right? So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Jorginho is a good deputy for that Partey role. Decent deputy. Not as good, but decent. So what actually we just need a midfielder that can basically take the load off of Declan Rice. Because really and truly, the second midfielder that should be behind Odegaard is Vieira. And for some reason, I'm like, where is this guy? It looked like he was going to ball out at the start of the season. Then he got injured. Now he's been fit. He's not getting any games. I expect to see something. So on that basis, I don't think we need two. I think we just need one. If we buy one midfielder, I'm mainly looking for a box-to-box. That's what I'm looking for, like a Bruno type. I don't really know too much about Zubimendi. We're always linked with him. He sounds more like a DM, like a 6. I don't know. I don't get the vibe that he's this dynamic box-to-box 8 like Rice. So I personally wouldn't want someone like him. And if it's between Gyökeres, I know you said Gyökeres and Bruno or Isak, and that's a really, really tough one because Gyökeres, he's banging in the goals, but still unproven. For me, he's still unproven. I'm not really gonna be fooled by Portuguese league. Look at Darwin Núñez, that was copped for 8 EMs. What's he doing for Liverpool? So I want Isak. I want him. I want him more than the midfielder.
Yeah, man.
That guy, I want him. Like I want.
He is elite, man. He's a baller.
He is. He gives me Henry vibes. Obviously, nowhere near as good as Thierry, but like he's just so. We just need someone who gives the attack confidence that goals are going to get backed. That's it. We've not had a striker since RVP.
Aubameyang.
Oh yeah, okay, Aubameyang. Yeah, okay, fair. But I mean, yeah, Aubameyang. But even that, I think Aubameyang's conversion rate, like he scored goals, but he missed a few chances. I'm talking like a striker that gives me confidence. I know in front of goal, 8 to 9 times out of 10 he's bagging it. Isak gives me that. So I want him. He's the guy I want to throw all the money at.
Tossie, you know what it is? You see, with the Gyökeres thing, right? And I knew it would come. Because obviously, people talk about the Portuguese league thing, but you know what it is? Because I know people go into the championship or whatever, but people can come up from the championship and play well in the Premier League. It's been done before. So he knows that he has that physicality side in terms of it. Gyökeres, and you know, I would have him as a 9 personally, but he can play, you know, wide left, or I think wide left or wide right. He can play across the front 3, but I think the only issue of Isak, and it's for a lot of people, listen, he's a top player. It's just the injuries, man. Same thing with Eze. I'd drag Eze to the Emirates tomorrow, but it's just can you keep him fit? Because he's class, absolute class. And we don't have a player like him at Arsenal.
Both of them, man. Eze and Elise are ballers, but they're always bloody injured, man. Like Pedro Neto is the other one I love, but he's always injured as well.
Yeah, nah, we should stay well away. Stay away.
Absolute baller.
No more signing these sick notes, man. I'm sick of it. Even Partey, I'll be surprised. If anything, are we sure he's going to stay at Arsenal? Because his injury record can't be trusted. And he's oh my goodness,
I'll be shocked if he's
done it again. He suckered me. No, we need to. Partey suckered me. This is what he always does.
No one wants to listen to me.
This is what he always does. And I'm falling for it. No. Sell him.
To go back to Potts' original question, I think we can do both, because when you look at the players that we have at our disposal that we can sell, like Ramsdale might not want to stay. You've got Tavares, Tierney, and Lokonga that are on loan that I don't think have a future here. That's 3 players, right? You've got Smith Rowe that you could sell. You got Partey, who I think, as good as he is, and he's elite, but on his day, the problem is he doesn't stay fit enough. So I would move him on as well, personally. Then you've got Nelson and Nketiah. Look, Arteta's not trusting Nelson, so why is he there? You know, get rid of him. You know, like Nketiah as well. Now you've got 7 to 8 players. I personally think we could raise 100 to 150 million from that. You add that to the 250 for the player sales. You get 2 centre mids. You get a striker. You get a right winger.
A winger.
You get a left back. You get a centre back. That's what I would do. Yeah. Now, the
guys, Thomas Partey is not leaving Arsenal Football Club. He's not leaving. 2 reasons. Number 1, he loves it in London. He's not going anywhere. Number two, those wages are only going to be paid by Saudi Arabia. And if you're not getting those Saudi Arabia money, you're not going to get rid of it.
Why do you think Edu went to Saudi Arabia last week? He's there. He's starting those.
You guys try and tell him, but hey, the players got to agree. Remember, it's not just a one-way deal. The players got to agree.
For sure.
Let him land. Let him come.
Go on, Chris. Come in, man. Come in.
Has he frozen?
His Wi-Fi's let him down right as the main.
Right, so you get
go on, Chris. Go on, Chris.
Right? And you get one that's like a 6 to an 8 profile, and you get one that's an 8 to a 10 profile. And what I mean by that is Odegaard is more of a creative player, yeah? So he can play as an 8 or a 10, yeah? And then you've got Rice, who plays as a 6 or an 8. And I think that's where we need to strengthen in midfield. We need to cover the 6 and the 8 position, and the 8 for someone that's more creative that can get forward. Because we bought Havertz to be the 8-10 profile, you know, the more creative attacking midfielder. And it's not worked there. So in essence, we haven't really covered that gap because we bought him to play there, but we're playing him as a false 9. So that's what's leaving us short. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of Smith Rowe or Vieira, are they those guys? He's not trusting them. So that's why I think like Rice in that 6 role, he's great. But I think Partey playing that 6 can break lines from deep. You know, like he can play that ball, fizz it in through the eye of a knee. I don't think Rice can quite do that, which is why I think he's favouring Rice in the 8 role. And that's why that's why me and African Guna and people like us are saying we need 2 central midfielders.
Yeah.
Well, listen, most of the chat are saying that as well, man. Over 70% of people are saying
good point.
It's got to be 2. It's got to be 2, and it makes sense. I get it, and I know where Elliot's coming from as well, because when you do the numbers, it's about, for me, it's not even about the numbers anymore with Arsenal. It's about the reliability, and unfortunately for Partey, as much as I love him, and trust me, I love this player, man. When he's fit, he's so good. Like, we've looked so much better in the last few games with him. But you just know that the guy's made of biscuits, man. He's just going to crumble. And it's just like, honestly.
But Dan, he doesn't have to depend on Partey next season. He literally doesn't have to depend on him. He's a luxury in the lineup. He's going to be like Jesus next year. Jesus is going to be a luxury in the lineup. So we can, instead of bringing in Ketia on, you can bring Jesus on next year. Next year, instead of bringing a El Neni on, you can bring on Partey. What a luxury that is, that you can have one of the better midfielders in the Premier League. You can literally say, "Oh, hey, Mr. Partey, could you control this game for me?" Sure, no problem. I'll go on. I'll take care of this.
So Elliot,
I love the team talk. I love Elliot to give a team talk like that, man.
So Elliot, I appreciate the logic and the thinking, and I'm in total agreement. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that we're giving Jorginho a new contract, so therefore my thinking is that means Partey is going to be the one that gets pushed out. Because when you're talking about the luxury players, I think it's between the 2 of them. It's either or. I don't think they both stay, right?
What's your thoughts on that, African Guna? What's your thoughts on Jorginho's signing, African Guna? Come in on that, man.
Yeah,
what do you think about
that? Not what I really expected when we signed it from Chelsea, but let's be honest, he's been a great signing. I mean, only this season, the only bad game he had was against Spurs, right? Where he made the mistake and that cost us. I think he's quite cheap. He's experienced. He's won everything. He's getting his coaching badges. So it's going to be kind of like a Per Mertesacker vibe where he'll be part of the club and he'll be adding things outside, like off the field, right? He's going to be helping the academy players, et cetera, et cetera. So I think overall it's a great signing. I mean, for me, it makes total sense. And I think we can either bring in the Xavi Simons or whoever it is that can go and learn from him, right? So for me, I think it's a no-brainer. But then that means that Thomas Partey is probably going to be the one that's going to be the sacrificial lamb, and we'll probably sell him. And yeah, that's unfortunate, Elliot, because I think everyone on this panel, there's no argument. Thomas Partey is probably the best midfielder we have in this team, and we've seen that, but we just can't rely on him. And it's gotten to that point now where it's been too many seasons. You know, if this was like the first or second season, I'd be like, I'll give it another season. But it's like 4 years in now, and I'm like, you know what? Nah. You know, we're at a stage, this team is super strong. We don't need to be carrying players like Thomas Partey. We're good enough to go buy someone else that can do his job and wish him the best of luck.
Okay. Hey, listen, you guys are not believing me here, but I'm telling you something right now. Okay. Thomas Partey, they're going to bring him a contract. Say, okay, we're dealing you off to Saudi Arabia. Really? Okay. If I'm getting the money, say, yeah, okay, I'm gone. If I'm not getting the money, say, you know what? I'm standing pat, because I think Partey's contract doesn't run out for another year or 2. So unless you're bringing him a big deal worth him leaving one of a cushy, and I mean definitely cushy, place in this side, you're not getting rid of him. He's going to play out his contract just like Cedric. But you know what? You know what's also playing him into the side? His form right now. Now. When he went, listen, he's dominating midfield at the moment, and no one can hold a candle to him. That's why when he's on, he's still one of the top 3 midfielders in this league. In this league, let's face facts. So, I mean, if we get a good deal for Partey, let's do the deal. But at the end of the day, Partey's not leaving unless he's given reason to leave.
I'll let Tosin go because I think you wanted to say something.
No. I just said I agree. I agree. He's top 3, man. The guy is too good, and it's just frustrating that we're in this situation. It's just annoying. So
Elliot, why hasn't Arteta played Thomas Partey before? We had the opportunity to play him a month ago. He's been sitting on the bench until now. Look, I don't know what the reasons are. I'm just asking you because I would have liked to have seen him.
I'll give you one reason. Yeah, you've already explained it. It's called his injuries. He doesn't want to rush a player back who's already been up and off of the injury table again and again and again. He said, this time I have Jorginho. I don't have to rush you back. You come back when you're truly ready. And now he's ready, clearly.
Elliot, we always say this, when Arteta puts a player in the team, it means he's fit enough to play, right? So if you're on the bench, I'm sorry, you're fit enough to be playing and starting the game. That is always something that we say standardized across football.
That's not necessarily true. Not necessarily true.
That's not been the case with Jesus this season, because my man gets subbed off 60 minutes, 70 minutes. That's not been. I see what you're saying, but that's not been the case this season. Like, Jesus has not looked fully fit.
Yeah, I'm not saying to play the whole full game, right? But you can play. Like, you can have some minutes in the game. Partey was sitting on the bench, not playing any minutes until recently. All of a sudden, now he's starting, and Jorginho's out the team. I'm just questioning, right? I'm just saying why. I
actually think Arteta. I personally think Arteta did that to kind of send a message to him, like, look, like, because everyone knows Partey is probably our best central midfielder at the club. We all know that, but my man can't just be injured for a long time, strolling. I think Arteta just trying to show him, look, bro.
You saw that when he came on in some of the games he came on.
Yeah,
he was
the team is evolving. Like, we're gonna grow with or without you, so you just need to pattern up. And I think it worked, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Listen, great talking points, man. Some really good talking points. We're going to close the last section for, of course, the weekend's game. Before we do that, please make sure you do me a favor and support the sponsors of the channel. Football Prize is back, and I can't lie to you, it's an unbelievable prize, or a couple of prizes I'm going to share with you today. This one, of course, is the Arsenal Legends one, which is the Patrick Vieira prize. Please make sure you go in for this one, people. You have to get in for it. It is only £3.95 for a ticket, and you can win a Patrick Vieira signed and framed Arsenal shirt from Football Prizes, including 16 instant win prizes. And some of these, we're talking about retro shirts earlier. The David Seaman retro shirt from the 90s. We've got Nigel Winterburn with the legendary lightning blue away shirt that I'm sure people will remember. Lee Dixon as well. One of our, well, in my opinion, my favorite right back at Arsenal, as well as the Patrick Vieira shirt. So please make sure you do that. If you're not an Arsenal fan, I know that some of you that watch this channel are not, then there are prizes for all football clubs, and they're also doing all sports memorabilia now as well. Boxing, sign gloves, golf, snooker, and other competitions to win. Horse racing tickets, Formula One tickets as well. Get yourself over to footballprizes.co.uk. Link is in the description, and make sure that you are in it to win it, because you have to get in with that, particularly if you're Guna. Imagine a Patrick Vieira signed shirt, man. That would be amazing. So make sure that you do that, please, people. Let's get into the game on the weekend. Albert, let's come to you, my bro. Are you going, by the way?
Dan, it might be the last time you see me this season, mate. Unless I put down some serious piece to get a ticket for Everton, man. But I don't know about that, man. But,
I know anyone who's going to get an extra one for that, man. Because I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm there tomorrow, man. I'm there tomorrow.
Listen, what do you make of this? Because they're a good side, you know. They're in form. I like this Areola guy. You know, they stuck with him. First few games of the season, I thought, oh, dear, this don't look too good. And Gary O'Neill was balling it out of Wolves, and I was like, maybe it's a mistake. But they stuck with him, and they're playing really well now. And I don't know. I think tomorrow, although I think we'll get the job done, I don't think it's going to be easy, Albert. What are you saying?
Yeah, listen. Bournemouth have been excellent, man. They didn't win. I don't think they didn't win any of their first 9 games of the season. Obviously, he's come into the Premier League. Areola, didn't know too much about him, and I saw this. You guys might have seen this stat. I think it's from the turn of the year, or definitely from the winter break. They are 5th in the table in form guide. 5th, Bournemouth. So that just shows you how well they've done this season. Is it Semenya? They got the wide right player. You got Solanke. Got Justin Kluivert. They got some good Lewis Cook in there. They got some good players, man. Got some good players. Players that I think were still part of Eddie. I think Adam Smith was there when Eddie Howe was. I'm sure he was. But yeah, listen, it's. I think they've beaten their points total already. What from is it from? I think a few seasons ago. They've done really, really well, man. So it won't be an easy game, man. And they gave Brighton a good scene over the other day, 3-0, I think it was. I do think we'll win, but
nowadays, man. Brighton.
No, they've been dreadful. Yeah. They've been very up and down. But no, fair play to Bournemouth, man. He's done a great job, Areola, and I do think Arsenal will win, but I think I see a lot of Arsenal fans do this season, even when we was in Europe. You know, we got Martinelli, we got Saka. You know, we're going to turn them over. Look, let's calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? The teams are not going to roll over and just let us just absolutely cane them. They're a good side, man. They deserve it. They deserve a lot of respect actually because their form's been exceptional.
Yeah, they do deserve respect, man. And I've been very impressed, particularly with some of their players. But the manager has really impressed me, man. Like they play some really nice.
Dan. I think was it? Sorry, Dan. 45 points from 26 games.
There you go.
45.
So, like you say, fifth in the form table in 2024 is bloody impressive with the players, with the teams you got in our league. You know how good we've been. We've lost one game all year. Man City have been flying. You got Liverpool going in for a title. You got Villa and Spurs fight for Champions League. Little Bournemouth are coming up and getting top 5 in all that. Man, that's impressive. Very impressive. But African Goon, I feel with some optimism. You normally do most weeks, bro. Come on, what are you saying?
Yeah, I said 3-0 Spurs. Then I was predicting. I should have predicted that for the halftime score. I told you guys I didn't want it to go all the way to the end. You know, sneaky bum time, and that's what we did. And oh man, thankfully we got through with that one. But I'm going for 3-0 again. I totally hear Albert. I think they are a good side. Solanke definitely on fire. I think he definitely moves this summer. I think he gets his move this summer. Maybe not to a top elite club, but definitely to probably a better club than Bournemouth. I think he deserves it. It'll be interesting to see. I think, for me, it just needs to be a strong start. I think last 3 games of the season, early kickoff. I hate early kickoffs, by the way, but I think there's a lot of momentum with the team, with the club right now. I think we're going to take this all the way to the last game of the season, and frankly, I think we will win everything, and we may not end up winning the title. And if that happens, hands up, and there's nothing much you can do about it. Man City is the powerhouse that they are, and it's just unfortunate that we're playing at the same time as them. But yeah, for me, I think probably a 3-0, 3-1. We've been bad with clean sheets recently. I don't know why. We've been giving away some bad goals recently, but I'm quite confident, Dan. I think we push through 3 points here.
Listen, I love the optimism, and 3-0 was looking pretty good. Well, actually, I say 3-0 against Spurs was looking pretty bad because I thought it was going to be 5 or 6 at one stage. But
yeah, me too.
Weren't to be, man. We wanted to. David Raya had other thoughts on his mind. Elliot, let you come in, man. What are you saying for not just this Bournemouth game? Let's this Bournemouth game is the one coming up. Are you confident we can win our 3 games? And do you see Man City dropping points, bro?
In a word, yes. In a word, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say this, okay? I still see City dropping points, and I think it'll come in either the matches against Tottenham, go figure, and but more importantly, Fulham. I think Fulham is going to give them a good run on their next match. I do not see them rolling over. I do not see them playing dead. I think Fulham will give a good account of themselves. Way better than Nottingham Forest last week, which is an absolute travesty, if you ask me. Anyways, well, you have Chris Wood, a bloody Man City supporter, bloody playing striker. Guess what? He's going to be missing. Shock horror. Yeah, I missed about 4 or 5 guilted chances. Yeah. Anyways, unbelievable. Anyways. They say that cheating's not happening in football. Anyways, guys, so to this account here, I say again, we're gonna roll these guys over. Although Bournemouth, give them credit, they gave a good account of themselves. They are steadily improving. I think Iriola is a very good manager, one on the rise, definitely. And I can definitely see him at a bigger club next season. But if he doesn't, I think Bournemouth are on a very good trajectory. They have very good ownership at the moment, solid ownership, and I think there'll be another Brentford, a very venerable Premier League side for years to come if they stick with the right management. But listen, we're going for a title here, so we're not playing around, and it's time that we get we bust some cherries. No did it. Anyways, so again, I say to that, it's going to be a 3-0. I do not see much interruption to our junction right now, and we're gonna keep the party moving, keep the party going, and we roll on to Old Trafford next week.
Love the optimism, man. Love it. Tosin, I'm going to come to you lastly with a bit of a different question, man. I went to the Spurs game at the weekend. Obviously, relief, get out of there. I walk down the high road, my dad trying to get out there as quickly as possible. I see your brother going nuts on the camera. I just thought, nope, I'm staying, man.
Yep.
I'm staying for this.
Everyone saw it. Everyone saw it.
I love it.
Literally. Oh man, he was
Love it.
crying. He was so happy. He's like, I was so sad. Oh man, so unhappy. But yeah, man, must be a very, very fun time for you and your bro when the North London derby's in town, man.
Oh mate, I love it, man. Like I think yeah, because yeah, there's the feeling is sweet. Like it's because I've had this since before Spurs were barely decent. Like when they were rubbish. Like when we were, I'm talking, he's been talking since Invincible days about Tottenham closing the gap. He's been talking about that since like even the 2005, our last season at Highbury, where we pipped them to fourth and the Lasagna Gate stuff. He's been talking since then, you know. So it's just always great to go to their ground, not play at our best, in my opinion, and still leave there with 3 points and us gifting them 2 goals. It's so sweet. I love it. I didn't even need to say anything. I'm just enjoying it. Usually I say something. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna savor this.
Bro, he was so unhappy, man. He's like,
yeah, man said,
"Bro,
oh yeah,
what
I
you
hope we
saying?"
fall on our swords. He's so silly.
Thing is, though, he was saying, "Oh, we're gonna ruin your title season, blah blah blah," and then that
pathetic.
happened. It's like,
Well, you can see who the smarter brother is, right? You can see who the smarter brother is. He's
So
right here.
pathetic.
Jesus Christ.
I always said that to
Dan,
Tom. I was like, "What the hell happened to you, man?"
Dan, I saw your
pressure.
clip bit. Yes, Don, I saw the clip bit yesterday on when you had just a North London show with judges. They're the 2 Tottenham guys, man. Flipping hell.
Unreal, innit? Unreal.
It's unbelievable. If you guys ain't seen it, toss it, go back and watch it, man.
I don't
Henry
think I want
and what's forgot his name?
Henry and Sean
Yeah, man. I
crying.
was like,
Like,
you guys.
well, the
are not
game should have
serious,
been a
man.
draw. The referee was on your side. Rah, rah, rah. Cry, cry, cry. It's like, wow.
Shut
And like
up.
then they go to Chelsea last night. I mean, I don't want to turn this into a Tottenham show,
Oh
but
my god.
last night that was a
They're dominating.
shambles, man.
Shambles.
This guy, and then you know, Ange is the most.
Did you see him?
cringy-
Gone.
Oh,
And
Doing
he was
quite well,
gone.
mate. Shut
Yeah.
up, man.
And
it's
he was
just the
gone,
way we
man.
are, man. What? It's just the way we are, mate. Shut
The
up.
shackles came off, man. He was gone. He was vexed.
He was bothered.
You-
He's so bothered. They were so
You've even
rubbish
got
last
some
night.
Spurs fans saying, "Oh, it's lucky. He's lucky it's his first season because any other manager with this second half of the season is getting sacked easy."
Oh, mate, I tell you, it's embarrassing, man. And like,
When you have a fan base that only looks to our downfall as being their top priority instead of trying to get into Europe, you know they're in the shadows. You know they're in the shadow realm. I cannot stress that enough. It is absolutely a travesty of it's lunacy to see them go on like that. But again, it's Tottenham, right? It's the history of the Tottenham. Okay.
Elliot, you know what? The first 10 games of next season, for Tottenham. You watch.
well, listen, man,
Fans,
it's gonna be funny. Tottenham fans, literally, they are every season they're the same. They get to December, we're gonna win a title race. We're in a title race here, and it's December. And then when you mention, hang on a minute, like, calm down, your squad's not that strong. Yeah, well, it is. We're doing exactly the same as what Arsenal did last year. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, calm down. And then they get to what, February, and it crumbles. They're like, oh well, you know, we never expected to win the league anyway.
Dan, you know where the warning
The
signs
media
were?
gassed them.
Yeah,
they
Toss,
do.
you know where the warning signs were when they played Chelsea, went down to 9 men.
Yeah,
and they
lost.
continued to play the same
Highlight.
way.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
People were championing him, saying,
"Yeah, I know."
The
Brave.
Premier League built on managers like Ange. How brave to have 9 men on the line. Oh, our hero. Oh, sweet Ange.
The only reason he could do that because Nicholas Jackson is Chelsea striker.
You're down to 9 men and all 9 on the halfway line. How is that? How is that brave?
Crazy.
That's like insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
That's
embarrassing.
not tactics. That's lunacy.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
That
embarrassing.
is sheer utter lunacy. That ain't tactics. That's lunacy.
So
Nah,
stupid.
it was funny. Like I got sent a message today. I'll put it in the group out, but you'll see it's a picture of him just like doing this, and it says, but these tactics worked against Aberdeen and Kilmarnock. What's going on? I loved it, man. I was like, this is class.
Yeah,
So there we go.
I don't think he'll
Listen,
last another. I don't think he'll last another season. I don't think he'll last next season.
well, if he
I-
carries on with
no,
those tactics, he won't.
No,
I think he will, man. I think he just
not
I
the
think-
whole season. Not the whole season. Maybe halfway, and then.
I want to see. The thing is, he's a decent manager. I want to see what he's got cooking. I refuse to believe that like this is his level, because clearly you could see that he was doing something with Spurs. I just think I think it's a mixture of his tactics and poor personnel. Like the
Agreed.
drop off in quality is alarming, man. Like it's
Oh yeah.
Emerson Royale and Ben Davies. But it's kind of mad because they could do with a guy like Dyer now, because he's pulling up trees for Bayern in the Champions League. So and this
But
is a
it's
guy
a
that
slower
could
league.
get
That's
looking.
why.
If Tottenham are smart, and we know they're not, they would go get a guy like Iriola over at Bournemouth and bring him in. Then I would see them starting moving up the table. But other than that, it's, they're going to give him another shot.
Yeah, they'll give him another season, man.
Yeah, they will.
Listen, to
They will.
close, let's go with some predictions for tomorrow. My score line is 3-1 Arsenal. Tosin, let's start with you. What are you saying, bro?
I'm going 3-0. I'm going. They're a strong team, fast, strong, physical, playing well. But I think coming to the Emirates, no matter how good you are, I personally think performance-wise, we're the best team in the league. And we've been the best team. Like we're annoying. We're kind of annoying to watch. We're almost like a complete unit. And I only see one result, to be honest. I see us beating them. So 3-0.
Fair play, man. Fair
I
play.
see it.
Elliot, what are you saying?
Yeah, 3-0. I agree. We're a well-oiled machine right now. The only way we get beat is if we beat ourselves. Simple as that. Case in point, last week at Tottenham. So
Exactly.
Interesting, man. African Gooner, you said 3-0, did you?
Yeah, I said 3-0, but maybe I'll just add that I think Nelson will probably get some pity minutes near the end if we're winning 2-0 or something like that, which I think will be respectable.
Like
It'll
a
be a good
throwback
way
for
for him.
last year.
Yeah, come on, yeah, for sure. So look, by the way, if Timber
Throwback
makes the
first
team,
day.
if Timber makes the team tomorrow, someone has to drop out of the squad, right? And the last squad, Nelson was out of the squad. So I think in this time,
Just sell him,
either
man.
going to be
I'm sick and
Nketiah
tired.
or Fabio Vieira, who's not going to make the squad. Nelson will make. I'm sure that's how Arteta plays. That's how he does his things. He's going to do it out of respect. He'll put Nelson in the squad, and I think Nelson will get 10 minutes, 15 minutes near the end of the game tomorrow.
I can't wait for us to get rid of him. Honestly.
Yeah, me too. By the way,
It's
me too.
mad.
The
I
most,
actually
the most
wanna see-
overgassed substitute ever. Like
Yeah.
I know that dude, Tosin. That's the
average
best moment
player.
he's ever going to
And
have in his
it's
entire
no shame
career.
against him. He's just an average player. I don't know why people champion him. Average player.
We got a few
Sentiment, man.
too many of them, man. It's sentimental
Yeah, we have
shit.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
100, man. Albert, what did you say for the score?
I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0. Like it, man.
Yeah.
Like it. All you gone for a clean sheet. To be fair, I should have more faith. But at the Emirates, I ain't seen many. I ain't gonna
Well,
lie.
David Raya just became the Premier League Golden Glove, so hopefully that gives him some
Yeah,
a boost
but
tomorrow to keep
he's
clean
in
sheet.
my
Even though he
bad
already
book,
won it,
man. After
just
the
to,
weekend,
like,
he
set it down.
if it weren't for him, my weekend would have been a hell of a lot sweeter, man, and a lot more comfortable. So he's in my bad books right now. So he's got to make up for it. So hopefully he does get a clean sheet. I'll tell you that now. Big up to all of you for coming on, man. Big up to everybody as well that's been in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. Let's get us close to that 20K, which we're so close to now. So come on, people. Hit the like button and then get us to subscriptions to 20. Make sure you're a massive part of this community as well. Big up to Albert. Make sure you go follow Albert on Albert JTV, who puts out content. Watch alongs on Lee Judges TV, all over YouTube, all over social media. So make sure you get over to Albert JTV. Also, go over to African Gooner on Twitter. You'll see him. He's close to about 50K now, I believe, on subs. So make sure you go follow him
Wow.
and be towards some of what African Gooner is doing. Likewise, Elliot, I always forget your damn handle, man. Shout it out.
EllieRob72 on Instagram. Yes, I'm here for love and hate.
Love it, man. Love it. Tosin, likewise. What are you saying? What you got coming up?
Oh yeah, I'm slowly getting back into the content thing, but you can put mine. Mine is fleet-footed. It's FLEETFOOTED. It's different, but it's still Arsenal.
Nice. Love it, man. Fleet-footed. Make sure you get over there. Big up to coming on, Totten, as well. You're always welcome. You know that, bro. So, listen, let's hope that Arsenal can get their 3 wins and we just pray and pray and pray that Manchester City somehow drop some points.
Come
Dan,
on,
one more shout, Dan.
Kwan.
Go on, bro.
Yeah, obviously, they're going to give Arsenal put out the feeders for obviously the
yes.
young lad that lost his life, Daniel.
Yes.
During, so I think they'll be doing a minute silence for the start before the start of kickoff. Sad loss, man. But to find out Zaguna, the socials went mad. So Arsenal obviously get on that. So big up to Arsenal, in touch with the family. I think Dan hit over 100K on the GoFundMe already.
Wow.
Amazing.
That is outstanding.
I think they're doing a standing ovation or a round of applause in the 14th minute. I think they're doing that.
Okay. Okay. The young lad lost his life, man, with the Daniel. I can't, what was the surname? Albert, did you say?
Andrew Angerin, yeah. Big up to him.
Yeah,
man.
Daniel, big up, man. And just wow, it's so sad that this still goes on in this world. But Arsenal will do a touch of class as they always do. So absolutely, and well done for mentioning that, Albert. Big up,
Yeah,
man.
well done.
Big up. Listen, we're out of here, people. Hopefully, we pick up 3 points and we just keep going. Peace. We're out of here.